what's up? Happy Monday. Welcome to another edition of the Sully Squad. We got a lot going on. We got a baseball team with World Series aspirations opening. I hope Thursday, Sean, because I'm actually going down there. But right now,
you are. Okay.
The weather forecast looks a little dicey. Right now, I think it's like 80% chance of rain. And the fact that Friday's an off day, it could be a repeat of last year where the opening day becomes Friday.
Yeah, that's
So
what they're saying. Cloudy. I think it'll pass. I'm hoping. Yeah, I don't trust the weathermen.
Well, it's kind of funny because I'm kind of hoping it's Thursday because I already took off from work and all. But I'm lucky because if I have to, I'll just switch it to Friday. So it's I'm lucky in that respect. But it's just I would prefer it to be Thursday. So hopefully
If it's Friday, I'll go with you. I'm off Friday for Good Friday. So yeah.
All right. You know what then? All right. Well, let's pray for rain then. All right.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. So outlook on the Phillies is good. We got Sixers had a big win yesterday. They went out there and they had a really good performance against the Beard and the Clippers. So the Sixers took it to them.
Yeah.
For Flyers with kind of a mixed weekend. They have a huge win on Saturday versus Boston at home. Last night, I didn't get to see much of last night's game, but from what I understand, the goalie came up really small. It looked like the Flyers outshot. The Flyers severely outshot Florida, but they wound up losing the game. And then there's a little bit of football news today because what was going on today? It's like coaches and general managers and stuff. I guess they have meetings, rule meetings.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to get into, but it looks like no Diego tonight. So it's just me and Sean. So Sean, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Hanging in there, just a typical Monday. Glad to get it over with. How about you?
Yeah, it's a good weekend. I still tired from Saturday. I went out Saturday night, and I'm still a little beat. But yeah, good weekend. How you get older, you don't go out as much, and then when you do, it's like it takes you a couple days to recover.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So,
totally
but yeah, man. So anyway, what do you want to start off with? I guess let's do a little Phillies here, because I feel like the Phillies. I feel like the Phillies are ready to rock. We come in high World Series aspirations. I did see Taijuan Walker. Looks like he's got a little issue. What did you see? Taijuan Walker looks like he's going to be out for a little while.
Yeah. So next man up mentality, Christian Sanchez. I want to see him get some more innings in, some more starts, But with Taijuan Walker, his velocity, they said, kind of dipped in spring training, And what are your thoughts about either just staying the course with what we have pitching wise, or is it a need or want to get Jordan Montgomery? I say I want Jordan Montgomery. It's not a need for me.
Yeah, I would like to get him, but it looks. The fact that he's not signed yet, and I think the Phillies are really close to that third apron of the luxury tax. And if you get to that point, you have to move back. You have to move back 10 spots in every round of the draft. You know what I mean? So I know the
sort
Phillies
of like with Blake Snell, what we were talking about last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you get that luxury, if you get in that luxury thing, you lose international money you could sign.
Yeah.
You got to move back in the draft. Plus it puts certain penalties. From what I understand, the kid Trumbull that they signed or whatever, he used to be a high a high prospect, so he's going to get the first crack at it. And then you got Mick Abel's knocking on the doorstep to come up.
Yes.
So I think while I would like to get Jordan Montgomery, and I think he'd be a great acquisition for our
Yeah,
staff,
true.
I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to try to start out the season. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Jordan Montgomery, man, I'm looking at my agent like a little side-eyed. Like I'm like, dude, are you ever going to get me a contract or what?
Yeah, I mean, you could thank Scott Boras for that. Like, what is the holdup, man? I'd be kind of pissed off and irritated, because now we're into the start of the season. No more spring training, and here
Mhm.
I am twiddling my fingers, wondering who wants me. But yeah.
Yeah, so Paul Spencer with
Hmm.
an interesting question here because obviously with the season starting, I mean I'd like to get
Yeah.
a little season preview and by the way, to all you seam heads out there, myself and Dave Yarnell will be bringing back extra innings tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So make sure you tune in to us. We won't be on every week, but we'll be on once or twice a month, kind of breaking down
Hmm.
the whole league. And so we're going to do a season preview tomorrow. But just for tonight, just like a little National League East preview. Paul Spencer says, have the Phillies surpassed the Braves with their moves? Two-team race again this year. I got to be honest, the Phillies really haven't have the Phillies really made any moves? I mean, if you really think about it,
Nah,
all the Philly. I
nah,
mean, Whit Merrifield
yeah.
was really the only big acquisition that I really recall. I mean, most of the Phillies moves were basically re-signing their own guys. I mean, they already had Nola, you already had Wheeler. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I got to be honest, Sean. I kind of like what the Braves did in the offseason. I mean, they went out and got Chris Sale, and I know he's had some injury problems, but if Chris
When
Sale,
he's on, man.
yeah, and the thing about Sale too is he's a fucking bulldog, dude. Like
He's a workhorse, exactly.
he's a workhorse, and you combine Sale with Strider, and then you got Max Fried.
Yeah,
Um,
Freed.
I got to be honest. If and I hate to say this because I think the Phillies have a really good team and a really good shot to win the World Series,
Yeah.
but gun to my head, I'm picking the Braves to win the East again.
Okay.
I got to keep it 100, dude.
It's
I
okay.
hate saying it, but
You
but
keep it
guess
like
what though? We'll see him in the playoffs again. You know what I mean?
damn right, and you know what happens. So,
Yeah. What's your thoughts? If you who do you think who would you pick in the NL East right here?
man, I think it all comes down to me. I think it's like even though they got Chris Sales. But for me, I think it's first and foremost the health of the players that they have, from
Yeah.
starting lineup to pitching. You know what I mean? And yeah, I think it's going to be a battle between us and the Braves. Typically like they did last year, head to head. But it should be a good series and a good season.
Hey,
And what are your thoughts? Go ahead.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was gonna say, let's not totally discount the Marlins too. I mean the Marlins made the playoffs last year, and I know as Phillies fans, like we love to shit on the Mets, but the Mets might not be as bad as people are thinking either. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? I think this division
yeah,
and Washington, Washington's been in the shitter the last couple years, but Washington, they do have some young prospects that are starting to come up
Abram,
a little
Lane
bit. So
Thomas.
they
Yeah,
they might, they may not be an automatic, 12, 13 win. You know what I'm saying? Like some of
yeah.
these teams might be a little bit more competitive.
I know what you mean. They're going to be those teams where we play them and we're scheduled to win the series, but that don't happen. You know.
This is pretty funny. Paul Spencer, what's your thoughts on Otani interpreter gambling over $4 million in losses? Did Otani know? Damn Asians and gambling, and that's what? It's great. That cracks me up coming from Paul because we're talking about a guy that was betting on Russian table tennis in the
And
pandemic.
cricket and yeah, cricket. Yeah. I went into the line for the cricket play tonight, Paul. But yeah, I mean, I think, did he know? No. I mean, but I think he's just that that humble, genuine dude. He's like, here, money to him, millions is chump change. So he's probably like, here you go, here's 4.5. But he's gonna talk, and I mean, hopefully the truth comes out, but it don't look good because they're calling him Otani Rose.
Oh my God.
Just it sucks, but
Mm-hmm.
I think he just gives something to talk about to change it over from whatever other bullshit's going on, So
You know what I think? I just think it's so funny that like ESPN like talks about it. It's like the big story or whatever.
yeah.
But meanwhile, right before they go to the segment, there's a big ass commercial about ESPN Bet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, isn't it kind of funny? Like, if you really think about it, like the friggin' the hypocrisy of the whole thing is just cracks me up.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just it's like a slap in the face. You're right.
But
and then,
good.
They had. Did you see Otani and Betts were next up into the batting lineup, and it said Otani, and then Betts was over in the far right.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't really know. I really haven't followed the story much, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I haven't like, to me, unless it comes out like, and he's such a great. It's funny, as a Phillies fan, maybe I should pray that he Pete Rose that John, because the Dodgers are going to be really good. You know what I mean?
It's good. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
So,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
as a baseball fan, I hope he didn't do shit, because he's a great player and I'd hate to see him lose the game. But let's keep it real. I kind of want to win the World Series. So I mean, if he gambled and they suspend his ass, well, that gives the Phillies a much better chance. Fuck them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
I don't know. Hey, or you know what, Sean? Let's pray he bet on the Phillies. Yes,
he did. Oh,
wouldn't that be great? Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Like, Phillies play the Dodgers, and Otani goes in a series. Otani goes like 0 for 20, and meanwhile, like they're sitting, and then it comes out, it's like he had money on the Phils.
Yeah. But also, like, back to that too, his interpreter, like, a big time liar. Like, he said he was an interpreter for the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. The Red Sox came out and said, nah, that's not true. And then he went to some college university. I forget the name. Not true. So.
Paul Spencer says, I guess I can never become his interpreter.
Never say never.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Hey, if Otani is throwing out like $4 million to take care of that, I mean, shoot, I should try to learn the language. You know what I mean? I know it's hard. It's probably hard to learn, but $4 million's $4 million. You know what I'm saying?
Never too late.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But nah, you know what though? So we're looking at the Phillies. Like you know what? While we're here, let's just do a quick National League preview. So we got, because this season is going to start. So, all right, I'm on record. I have Atlanta winning the division. I think it's going to be a lot more competitive. I think the Phillies will be right up their ass. Like, I don't think it's going to be like last year where Atlanta clinches like 2-3 weeks before the season ends. You know what I mean? Like,
nah.
So I think Atlanta holds us off. Atlanta wins maybe like 98 games. I see the Phillies being like a solid 93, 94 win team, and Phillies are the top wild card. The Central, you know who I like in the Central? I think Cincinnati. Cincinnati has all that young talent. They started coming on a little bit last year. I think the Cincinnati Reds take that step. I think the Reds take the Central.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with you on that, because it got Steer, McLean, Hunter Green, another Spanish guy, I believe his last name Strand, the Cruz kid. I mean, they're playing on all types of levels, And
then you got out west, man. I'll tell you, out west is going to be tough, because you got. Everybody's just giving it to the Dodgers because of all the money they spend, and they can't. and they do got a lot of talent. But I'll tell you what, though, and we learned this lesson last year in October. Don't discount those Arizona Diamondbacks. They got a nice pesky team out there.
Damn right. They played small ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Dodgers will find a way to win that division, but Arizona will give them a run. So it'll be I got Atlanta, Cincinnati, LA Dodgers as the 3 division winners. I got Phillies as the first wild card, Arizona as the second wild card. We need one more wild card team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It's one of them things. Does a team like the Cardinals have a step back year? Or the Cubs? You know what I mean? The Cubs started coming on towards the end of the year.
True.
You got San Francisco Giants. Their lineup's not that great, but they just went out and signed Blake Snell.
What about San Diego?
San Diego traded Soto,
Darvish. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. I'm trying to think.
Third wild card, I'm gonna say a team like the Cubs sneaks in there. They got some young talent there. All right. And then who do you got going to the World Series? Who represents the National League in the World Series?
I like what we have on paper and everything. Just, God willingly, health and all. I like the Phillies. Gotta be. Prove me wrong. Do we stick with Schwarber at leadoff? But that's not the case. Thompson loves it. I think me and you and Diego went back and forth to kind of like switch up the lineup, but they're stuck in their ways with Schwarber being that leadoff guy. But health-wise, Phillies in the World Series for me. And as far as what you said with the rankings in the team, I gotta agree with you. Braves take it, the division, us wild card, Dodgers, Diamondbacks, and even throw in the Reds, like you said, and the Cubs. I'm with you on that. I can see that too as well.
Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, and how about a little American League? Just while we're here, let's do the American League too.
Okay. Yankees.
Okay.
I see the Royals sneaking in there. The way they play. Mariners, I like. Who am I forgetting? I'll have it in front of me. Rays, Tampa Bay Rays, I like.
Okay.
And got one more, I guess. I guess you could say the Guardians.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna go. Baltimore wins the East.
That's another one. Yeah, Baltimore.
So Baltimore wins the East. Yankees have and this will make Eileen. Say hi, Eileen. How you doing? Hi, guys.
Yep.
Hi, Eileen. Eileen's a Yankees fan. So I have Baltimore winning the East. The Yankees make the wild card. Central, the Central Division really blows.
It's.
I'll say I'll say Guardians in the Central, and then out West.
You gotta think Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle's tough.
Seattle, Texas. I mean, now that
Texas won the World Series, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Texas wins the West, and you got Houston still.
Don't forget, you know what? And yeah, that's another thing. See, just going off the top of your head, Minnesota. You got Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota made it last year. All right, I'm going to go. Yeah, I'll go in the West. I'll go Houston. Houston wins the division. Texas makes a wild card. Seattle makes it. That's the three
Yeah.
wild cards. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm with you on that.
The Central's either Minnesota or the. You know what? I'll go Minnesota in the Central.
You have to. Yeah. Minnesota. Yeah.
And I'm going World Series. Phillies, Baltimore, a rematch in 1983. The I-95 series.
Couldn't said it better. I like it. Yeah.
Except the Phillies win this time.
Damn right. I like it. I really do.
All right, hang on a second. I got a comment here. Pat Bernard, what's up, fellas?
What's
hey,
up,
Pat,
Pat?
how you doing, bro? You could check Pat out on the Edge of Philly on Sunday mornings. And also Pat's like everywhere. I mean, he wrote a Wings article today. So Pat goes down, covers the Wings. My man's involved in like everything. He does everything but cover pocketball, I think. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true.
All right, so all right, yeah, so that's the baseball. But and the Phillies will be starting in a few days. Did you catch any of the tournament?
Yeah.
Hang on, I got a comment here. Captain Moonlit 77 goes Phillies 162-0 to the moon. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you're right.
That would be pretty great, man.
Yeah, that would be. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but anyway,
yeah. I watched the tournament. Yeah, so back to what you're saying. I can't believe, like, what was it? Yale beating Auburn. But the biggest one was the Kentucky. Grand Canyon just getting annihilated. No, it wasn't Grand Canyon. It was Oakland, University of Oakland. Just giving it to Kentucky, So.
Yeah, did you see that dude from Oakland was like burying threes like great. Oh, that
Chandler from Friends.
Yeah, that was so funny. That thing he did look like Chandler, bro.
No, he does. But hey, that's what those bracket busters are all about. Because I had a couple. I think I picked Yale and somebody else. I was gonna pick Grand Canyon, but I didn't. But yeah, that's what it's all about. Like these bracket busters, these spoiler teams. Yeah.
Mike Laura, hey boys, I'll be with Fuji on opening day. Hope to see you there. Well, Mike, you're definitely going to see me there, bro. Because me and Fuji and I, we're doing the tailgate. My boy Eric's going down with me too. So yeah, so we'll throw back a few. So yeah, definitely. Hopefully we see you Thursday, unless it rains its balls off. You know what I mean? Yeah. If not, maybe we'll see you Friday.
Yeah. But so do you have any upset specials in the bracket?
Well, you know what I did? I made a few bucks on it. So Diego came into work on Thursday, and we were on TikTok, and this one dude was saying how he took last year. He took every underdog on the money line, right? Now he took them for like $100 a game. Like I wasn't betting like that. I bet a couple bucks a game. But last year, if you did that, you would have profited like $3K because all the upsets. You know what I mean? Because I think a 15 seed won last year, like a 12 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did that for like $5-10 on all the underdogs and won a couple bucks, but like the last Saturday and Sunday it was a lot of chalk, so it wasn't really worth it. Hang on, Mike Lauro says, dude, Texas cost me 900. Damn, Texas cost them 900 by half a point. Holy shit. Yeah, see, I didn't see that game. I was out last night.
Yeah, I heard about that game.
But I heard that game was unreal. Like Houston's a lot of teams. A lot of people have Houston going the whole way. They're the number one seed, and they almost got taken out.
I got Houston in. No, I'm sorry. I got UConn in one and North Carolina in the other. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, isn't UConn possibly like the number one overall seed? Like a lot of people were picking UConn.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I just like the game I watched them play with Marquette, man. They were balling. They were just scoring everywhere in the paint, so.
Yeah. John Michael with a comment. He says, a few good games, but kind of a lackluster tournament so far. Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah. I can
A lot of these
agree with
games,
that.
a lot of these games have kind of sucked. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll tell you a team that's kind of hot right now. Gonzaga, dude. Like Gonzaga,
Dude, yeah.
they're kind of a sleeper. I mean, they really. I mean, this wasn't your father's Kansas team. I mean, this Kansas team wasn't really that good, but they beat their ass pretty good in the second half. And Gonzaga, like if you go back to like January, like they were talking about in the game, they were saying that like people were saying they might not have even made the tournament. And here, I think Gonzaga's won like 11 out of like 13 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like they've been, they've kind of been on a hot streak. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you who I think's pretty solid. Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. Well, maybe they can make a run.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What now? Did you play a bracket or no?
Yeah, I played a bracket.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't play shit. I just did.
I just played a bracket on ESPN, for shits and giggles, because I forgot my bracket for the money thing for work. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to be one of those dudes. The first game started in the afternoon. I wasn't going to take a screenshot and shit like that. So I said, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. So.
Yeah, hang on a sec. I got another comment here. John Michael says, I was convinced James Madison would give Duke a run, so I took them with the 8 points. They lost by like 40. Me and Otani had a rough betting weekend. You know what's funny? I saw a meme that had a picture of Otani or whatever, and it looked like
in Rose's uniform.
What's this?
In Pete Rose's uniform, right?
Oh
and
no,
I didn't
see. Oh no, I didn't see that. Now that would have been funny, but no, I saw one with Otani, and it showed him like really stressed out, and like the caption was like yo, my man's sweating. He's like, I know that sweat in the parlay look. You know what I mean? Like it was like
yeah. The one I'm talking about, they put his head on Rose's card, and it goes Otani Rose.
Oh my God, that's so funny,
dude! It's the best, like what these people come up with and shit.
It really is. You know what? I'll tell you what. If you wind up getting hurt, you don't have to. Sean, remember I told you he had that look of like sweating the parlay.
Yes.
Well, if you get hurt on the job, one guy that'll keep you from having that look is my man Jason Fine. My man going to get you paid, bro. Motor vehicle accident, slip and fall, workers' compensation, or like I said, personal injury claims. So, you get hurt on that job, man. Don't have that losing the parlay look. Know that you're going to get some paper. Call my man.
Stay down.
What's that?
Just stay down and let Jason Fine do the rest.
Yeah, that's right. I know, right? And anybody out there, some of these games go kind of late. Like what was it? I think
Yale and San Diego were 10:15.
Yeah, well, if you're on the East Coast, and you're trying to watch that, man, you might want to have some of this coffee. The best coffee around, Monkey's Cold Coffee. They got the newest flavor is honey agave. They got barrel aged honey. I don't know what that is, but maybe it's good. I'm not a coffee guy, Sean. I can't. I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, I'm not a coffee guy, but anybody that is, make sure you try this, John. You're a coffee guy, right?
Yeah, highly recommend it. It's if you like honey and something sweet, or you want an Irish coffee with your flavor honey agave, there you go. That's your go-to.
Yeah, this is the time of the year for the Irish coffee, right?
Yes,
You know,
you got that right.
we
Slap a
just
little
got
Jameson in there. Tell him
yeah,
what to do.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
we just got past all the St. Patrick's Day stuff,
Yep. You got that right.
So, but anyway, yeah, one other thing I wanted to get into, I want to get in a little Sixers, but the Flyers right now, really in a dogfight for the playoffs,
Yes.
and a lot, in a rebuilding season, it's quite impressive that they actually have a chance. I'm looking at the standings right now. If the season ended today, the Flyers are still the 3 seed, but they got Washington's right up their ass. Flyers have 72 games played, so Flyers only have 10 games left. Flyers have 81 points. Washington has 79 points, but they have 2 games in hand. They've only played 70 games, they played 70 games. So that's a concern. So Washington, like I said, Washington has a couple games in hand. And then, the Red Wings are right there with 78 points for the wild card, and they have 71 games played. So they have a game in hand on the Flyers too. But like I have here though, mixed weekend for the Flyers. I mean, they beat Boston on Saturday, which was a great win.
Big win.
You figure this weekend you went 1-1 against the 2 best teams in hockey. Actually, the Rangers actually now have more points, but okay. But either way, 2 of the 3 best teams in hockey. I'm looking here, Florida with 97 points, Bruins with 97 points, Flyers with a really big win Saturday, and then last night was disappointing. But second half of a back-to-back, playing a team that's much better than you. I give the Flyers a lot of credit. At least they got the 2 points.
At least they put up a fight. Yeah, I mean, didn't have their tails between their legs, So
yeah, I'll tell you what, too. That Forrester kid, man, that kid,
he's something.
That kid is a future 35. He may even someday maybe even get to like a 40 type goal scorer guy. I mean, his shot is unfucking real, man. I mean, the dude can bring it. I like the way he shoots the puck, dude.
Yeah, the way he plays, his style of play is very up tempo.
Mm-hmm.
No nonsense. And he gets the game. With a little bit more teaching and practicing, I think he's going to be, like you said, 35 plus goal scorer. So.
Yeah, this team's on the come. Now they got kind of another tough week here. Tomorrow night they're at the Rangers. That's another tough game.
Yeah.
But the good news is though, after they get past like this game versus the Rangers, they start to have some team. They're going to start to play some teams in the last like 8 games that like aren't in the playoffs. So
okay.
While tomorrow looks like a real tough one, then Thursday they're at Montreal. Saturday they host Chicago, so you got to get that W.
Well, you got it.
And then they host the Islanders. Now the Islanders, that's a big game too. The Islanders are a little bit further back. Like the Islanders have 75 points, so they're 6 points behind the Flyers, but they also have 1 game in hand too. So you got to look at it like this: if the Islanders win that game in hand, that's 2 points right there, and then it's a 4-point swing, and then it's a 4-point swing when we play them. So if the Islanders win that game and then beat the Flyers in regulation, they're right there with us too. So that's going to be a huge game.
Absolutely.
And then you got Washington's next couple games. They play Detroit, which is good. Now, I just hope that doesn't go to overtime, because if that goes to overtime, then each team gets a point. So hopefully whoever wins that game at least wins in regulation, so the other team gets fucked. Don't get shit,
True. I'm right there with you.
And then Washington's at Toronto. Then they host Boston, and then they're at Buffalo. So Buffalo's kind of mediocre. They have 73 points, but so that might be a winnable game. But if you look, though, at Toronto and the Bruins, hopefully Washington takes a few L's there.
True.
Regulation L's. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about hockey that gets like so confusing. You know what I mean? Well, not really confusing, but it's kind of a ball breaker because, teams lose games and it happens to the Flyers' benefit too. I mean, we played Carolina last week and lost and still got a point. So, I mean, it helped the Flyers, but it kind of blows when some of these teams lose the game and you're like, shit, they still get a friggin' point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes it kind of hard. I think that's one of the reasons why some of these standings are so jumbled up because, the teams get points for losing games. I don't know if I necessarily like that too much. I feel like if you lose, you shouldn't get shit.
True.
That's just me. You know what I mean? Like if you take the L, take the L. You know what I mean? You don't get the fucking consolation bullshit. But it is what it is, and that's how they do it. So, all right, let's do a now this week. By the time we're back on this show, Flyers have a possibility of getting 8 points with these 4 games. How many points do they get out of 8? Now, remind you, it's at Rangers, at Montreal, Chicago, and the Islanders. How many of these 8 points are they getting?
5.
Okay, I can. All right, so that's
points.
4. So 5. That's 5 points. That puts That would put the Flyers at 86 points and 76 games. That would put them at 86 points with roughly 6 games to go. All right, now let's look at Washington. Washington plays Detroit. All right, so we got to hope if Washington can lose at Toronto and versus the Bruins in regulation, they don't get shit. Detroit, that game's a toss-up at Buffalo. So, all right, so how many points is Washington getting? They play Detroit, at Toronto, Bruins, and at Buffalo. So same scenario. Washington has a chance to get 8 points. How many they get?
Will be the Debbie Downer. Hopefully they get 4.
Okay. I can deal with that. You realize what this is probably going to come down to. I think the last game of the year is Flyers Washington.
Yeah.
It could very well come down to that last game.
Absolutely.
So and like I said, the good thing is that with them playing Detroit, because you could backdoor and get that, because right now Detroit's like the last wild card. So if Detroit loses, that kind of helps too. You know what I mean? And hang on, I got a couple comments here. Mike Lauro has the Flyers getting 7 points. Okay, that would tell you what.
That'd be awesome.
If the Flyers get 7 and he has the Capitals getting 3, if that happens, our chances for the playoffs are really good, because that would put us up another 4 points. So we'd be about 6 points up with 6 games to go. I'd feel pretty confident we're getting in if that holds true. So hopefully Mike's right. Hopefully Mike's right. So we'll see, but hopefully by the time we talk next week, the Flyers have at least 6, 7, 8 more points. You know what I mean?
Damn right. It's a possibility.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, then we'll see what happens there. That's the Flyers. Now we got another team that's making a playoff run. Philadelphia 76ers. I might as well keep this mixed weekend up, because the Sixers kind of had a mixed weekend too. They played the Lakers on Friday night. That game, they just couldn't get it done. They couldn't shoot. Oh, hang on a second. I got another comment. We'll do one more of the Flyers here.
Yeah.
John Michael says, not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but as the pressure mounts, a young team could struggle. I'm saying 2 to 4 points. Yeah, that's that.
Anything can happen, basically. I can agree with John.
That's concern. I mean, I definitely understand what John's saying there, because young teams can struggle in these big games.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, but you know, the one strength that this Flyers team has had, they seem to play really good against these better teams. Like they were.
I think they're up for the challenge. They want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like anybody. You want that competitiveness because they're gonna go out and give you all they got, and the best teams want to just cut you down and not let you up.
Yeah, my concern with the Flyers, to be honest with you, is the games that Urson doesn't play. That's the concern. You know what I mean? Like when they have Urson play, they're right there. I mean, they're you know what I mean? He gives them really good goaltending, and they're right in this game. I mean, that's the reason they lost last night. A lot of it was kind of the goaltending. You know what I mean? They played really well versus Florida last night.
Yeah.
Mike Lauro says Morgan Frost has been really hot. Yeah, that's one. For me, some of the big takeaways from this year is just like the development of these guys. I mean, you look like Mike touched on Morgan Frost. I mean, boom, he's doing a great job. Forrester. Tippett looks like
yes. Konechny.
Yeah, TK. I didn't even mention him. He had two goals. He's got 30 goals
with Boston. Yeah,
yes,
he did. Yeah.
So some of these guys are really developing,
and don't count out that kid Carter too on defense. I got him in fantasy. He's pretty good. So
who?
Carter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Here, I got another comment here. Mike Lauro says, last four games versus Toronto, Carolina, Boston, and Florida, 5 points. Yeah. The fact that you got 5 points out of a possible 8 with that against those teams is really the mark of a really ascending young team. And I know. What do you think? What do you think of the Couturier thing? People were making a big deal about Torts benching Couturier. I got to be honest with you. I'm not the way Tortorella has this team playing. I'm not breaking his balls over anything he's done.
That's what they're getting on him. That what he did in the past. Did it help some players? Yeah. Did it not? Yeah. But I'm right there with you. He did it maybe to kind of give him a breather, to kind of relax. And he's battling. What he's battling from? Back injury. That's a pretty serious injury. So he probably just wanted to give him some, a mental break and as well as a physical break. I'm all for it. Whatever.
Mike Lauro said Coots needed to be benched. I mean,
okay.
Like I said, I'm not going to argue. In my opinion, if this Flyers team makes the Stanley Cup playoffs, I feel like Tortorella should be the coach of the year. He may not be because a lot of guys around the league don't like him because he is kind of a ball and shit like that.
Well, he tells you like it is, and a lot of people in today's generation don't want to hear that. They want to be coddled.
Yeah. I think he's doing a great job. And then one more here. The gauntlet ends tomorrow night versus the New York Rangers. But that has me, just for that though, has me a little concerned because the Flyers just broke their balls versus all these tough ass teams, and then so you do wonder, to John Michael's point earlier, about the pressure, do they kind of drop the ball in Montreal? You know what I mean? Like I'm looking here,
like the unexpected loss. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like Montreal's trash. Montreal's like the second, tied for the second worst team in the league. They're 26-32. They only have 64 points. They blow. But could you go up there and have a stinker? I mean, the Senators blow too, and I think they've beaten the Flyers twice this year. You know what I mean? So sometimes
can't take those teams out. enlightening. Yeah, I totally agree.
And it is Canada. I mean, like, hockey's like fucking the NFL up there. You know what I mean? So even if their team blows, like all them Canadians up there are like, oh, this is a good game,
exactly.
We're meanwhile down here, if the Flyers blow, we turn that shit off. We're like, all right, dude, next year. But up there, dude, it's like all hockey all the time. You know what I mean? They don't have no Eagles up there to talk about.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
They don't know nothing about that. No, you're right.
What do they got? The Grey Cup? I mean, who gives a shit about that?
Keep the CFL up there, exactly, with your Calgary Stampeders and your Rough Riders, yeah, right, and your Eskimos.
Actually, you know what I was thinking? If Mike Lauro, you know what? Perfect example. Mike Lauro, his favorite player, Carson Strong. Maybe Carson Strong could play for the Grey Cup up there.
He is. He's as a matter of fact. Rumor has it he's getting that knee healthy. He's going to try out for the Rough Riders. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
so stay tuned.
Carson Strong. What is it? The Saskatchewan Rough Riders? Is that who it is?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Back in the day, like before he had, like years ago. I think I'm going back like 30 some years, maybe like late 80s. Remember when ESPN like wasn't all this like, get up and all this bullshit they got now? And like they used to, remember like off hours, they'd have like CBA basketball. And they used to have the Canadian League.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
They used to have that, Joel. And I remember flipping channels and it'd be like in the July and I'd be like, what the hell's this? And then it'd be like Toronto Argonauts or some shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Now there's like 50 million shows of like dudes arguing with each other and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'll pass on that. I'd rather watch sports than Skip Bayless and Jay or that dude Wright. Like, what a joke.
Oh, that guy Nick Wright.
Yeah, Nick Wright.
I'm
wrong.
They ought to change his name to Nick Wrong. That dude don't know shit.
Yeah. So true.
So, but anyway, all right. Well, look, that's kind of the Flyers mixed weekend. So let's get in a little Sixers here. Sixers kind of had a mixed weekend too. Like I was saying, they played 2 games in LA. The first game, what was it, Friday night? I mean, they couldn't. They were throwing. I mean, they were like Ben Simmons on steroids. I mean, like Sixers couldn't hit shit. It was basically like Ben shooting out there.
I think it was Maxi's worst play, 6 points, I believe.
Yeah, but huge bounce back game yesterday. I was really impressed with yesterday. I mean, yesterday, like
I didn't watch it.
Why I didn't see the whole thing, but I watched. From what I saw, I mean that it was nice to see Tobias Harris actually play basketball again. Toby had a great first half. Who's really playing good ball for the Sixers is Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre is playing some. He's remember he started off so good this year, and then he kind of went into a little bit of a lull. He's right back. I think his last like 11 games, he's averaging like 20 points again. Well,
that invisible car hit him pretty hard. So that takes a lot out of you, man.
Wasn't the rumor? I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm not going to spread falsities. But wasn't like there a rumor that like his chick beat his ass or something? Wasn't that the rumor?
I didn't hear that, but hey, maybe it's just all fishy. Just the way he comes walking in to his house or his apartment, whatever it may be. Like, oh yeah, I got hit by a car. Nah, dude.
Hey, I don't care. You know what? He keeps averaging 20 points. Yeah. I don't give a shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He had a real nice block on Paul George too. He came from the back and like swatted the shit out of him. And I'll tell you what. So I'm looking at these standings, right? And the Sixers. I mean, well, the good thing is, did you hear that Drew Hanlon flew in the Philly? I think Embiid's ramping up his workouts a little bit.
Oh. The porcelain doll.
You know what's funny? I knew.
You know what, dude?
I knew you were gonna listen. I totally get you, right? Is it frustrating that he never can play? Yeah, of course it is. Is he definitely? Is he going to come back and be healthy enough to make a run? Who knows, right? But But let's be honest, though. All right, look at the whole NBA. If I told you you can have, if I told you you could have a healthy Embiid, right, who just chilled for the last 2 months, coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Say he gets to play like maybe 3-4 games, ramp up his conditioning. Who in the NBA really scares you? Other than Boston. Like I'm looking at the standings right now, okay? Boston obviously is on a whole other level.
They're on a tear. Yeah,
They're on a whole other level. They're 57-14. They've won 9 in a row. They're unreal, okay? Are you afraid of Doc Rivers in this? Are you afraid of Doc Rivers and Milwaukee?
Did you say Glenn Rivers or Doc?
I'm sorry, Glenn. He don't deserve to be Doc.
Yeah, there's only one Doc.
He's got to get past the second round to get that Doc shit. Are you afraid of the Bucks?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
So my point is, like, while I know it looks bleak, right? But if you look at these, if this team gets Joel Embiid, first off, I thought, I'll be honest with you, bro. I thought Kyle Lowry was kind of done. Kyle Lowry looks like he's got a little bit more left than I thought.
He's rejuvenated, man. He's playing for his city. Yeah. He's playing for the hometown. And that kind of, age does catch up with you, But he's just on another level. You got the crowd, you got the city, and you got your family. But yeah, he's, like you said, he's playing on a whole new level. I mean, you're counting him in when you need him most, and he's stepping up to that. Yeah. Unlike the crumble cookie.
Yeah. But the crumble cookie did play good yesterday. I got to give him his props. Real quick, they're getting back to the getting back to this. John Michael says he's back to the Kelly Oubre thing. He said the side mirror broke his rib. Meanwhile, the dude is like 6'8". How the hell the side mirror of the car hit your rib?
You know what broke that rib?
Mike Lauro's not a believer. Trade that bum. And then John Michael with concerns too. He said the problem with Embiid is he won't be in any kind of shape.
Couldn't agree more with him.
That's fine, but you can't work upper body. But you can't work upper body for some cardio. He's probably sat around doing nothing. He's going to be in bad shape. John, listen, I share your concern. I mean, I really can't sit here and say, I really can't contradict what he said because it's kind of true. We've seen it before. I guess maybe I'm trying to take the optimistic viewpoint only because I really don't believe there's only if you told me Joel Embiid could be in basketball shape, right? That's
like pigs flying.
Right, but there's only like 2 or 3 teams in the NBA that I think the Sixers aren't like. I think the Sixers could beat anybody in the NBA.
I know what you mean.
Series, except for Boston would be really tough. The Denver Nuggets would be really tough out west.
Yeah.
Of course, the Bucks would be tough. But if you told me right now I had a healthy Embiid, who, by the way, when we got Buddy Love or Buddy Hield. I'm calling him Buddy Love from the
it's okay because he ain't playing like the Hield we know that we got him for. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the point is though. But all right, he's not. But how much better is he going to look if you have Embiid out there and you're running? You got Maxey handling the ball, right? And then we're playing 2-man games with Embiid, and then you got Buddy Hield spotting up wide open for wide open threes.
True,
Buddy Hield can get wide open threes.
That remains to be seen. Yeah, I know.
Like campaign. A lot of people were bitching when they traded Pat Bev. Campaign, dude, some of these games, he's not. I realize he could be a little inconsistent, but Campaign could give you that microwave instant offense off the bench, and I think a guy like him could help. You know what I mean? One thing that's hurting the Sixers, though, not Pat Bev. Who the hell am I thinking of? D'Anthony Melton. Like, Christ, did he die? You know what I mean? Like, he's got a bad back, so I'm a little concerned. Like, I know they're talking about possibly getting him back, but I don't know, man. A basketball player with a bad back, he might just be done. So we might be screwed on him. But
he has a case of being a bitch, you said?
Hey, man, back injuries are a bitch, bro. It's hard. It's hard.
He has stuff that he could do better than me and you. Cryotherapy. I don't want to hear that shit. Sauna, acupuncture. I can go on and on, but I guess he'd rather just be a bitch.
I don't know. You know what though? I'm not going to doubt if back problems. I don't want to doubt a back problem.
Stretch.
Right. D'Anthony Melton gets no sympathy from Sean. Okay. Sean's like, rub some tussin on that, John.
Yeah, rub some tussin. You got that right.
Mike Lauro says the Knicks are going to the Eastern Finals, aka Villanova North. I don't see that. Knicks are a nice little team, but if we had a healthy Embiid, I think we beat the Knicks in 5, maybe 6. I'm not concerned about them. John Michael said, "LOL, I'm really being a Debbie Downer. Shit, go Phils."
All right, to each his own.
All right, so let's break down this here. We're in the home stretch here now. I would love to get the 6 seed somehow and avoid the play-in. Not sure if we're going to be able to do it, but let's look here. Right now, I'm looking at the standings. Indiana is sitting at the 6 seed. They're 40-32.
Okay.
Heat and the Sixers are both 39-32. So they're right there. Indiana's got a really tough schedule towards the end of the year. So I was reading that maybe they may start to lose a few games.
Okay.
So if that's the case, if we could get Embiid back in about a week, if Embiid can play the last 3, 4, or 5 games, then maybe the 6 seed isn't out of the realm of possibility. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But because if they have to play the play-in, that's going to be tough, because then you're already asking Embiid, who hasn't played in a few months, to ramp up, and then he's got to go. Then you got to go and have him break his balls to play 1 or possibly 2 games just to get into the damn playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm looking Sixers week here. All right. So the next 4 tonight at Sacramento. I'll tell you what, I would never bet against my team. I don't like to bet against the Sixers, but if I was a betting man and I didn't care about betting against my team, I think the Sixers are definitely taking an L, especially last game of
the West Coast trip.
And they played yesterday, and they played well yesterday. And Oubre's questionable. They're taking an L tonight. Sacramento is probably a good play. All right.
Sacramento wins that. That's 1 loss. Okay, go ahead.
Then Wednesday they host the Clippers. You know what? I got to keep it real. That's probably another L, because we just kicked their ass.
Yeah, because they've just come back from the West Coast. Yeah.
You got first game back from a long West Coast trip.
Yeah.
That's an L.
No rest. Yeah.
This isn't doing my argument any good, Sean. Damn. Friday at Cleveland. Now, the Sixers have beaten Cleveland 2 in a row. They beat them in Cleveland without Embiid, and they beat them here without Embiid.
So you know what that says?
Well,
you said win, loss.
Yeah, you know what though?
Win.
Yeah, Cleveland's struggling. They're 3-7.
So I'll say a win.
10. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They've actually lost 3 in a row.
Give me that win.
All right, yeah. You know what? I hate to say it, I'm going with an L for the revenge factor.
Okay, 0-3, 1 and 2 for me.
All right, I got 0-3, and then at Toronto on Sunday. Well, shit, we better win that game. That would give us our 40th win.
2-2, yeah, for me.
All right, so you have them 2-2. All right, so 2-2 would put us at 41-34. And then by that point, you hope that you get the big guy back, maybe towards the end of that week.
Damn right.
Because see, the problem is, I feel like to get that 6 seed, I feel like you need like 44 or 45 wins, and I'm just not seeing where they're going to get that. I mean, maybe they can. If Embiid can play 4 or 5 games and they can find a way to win a few of them, maybe they could. I mean, if they do what you said, that puts them at 41.
Yeah.
So 41-34. What's that? 75 games. That would give them 7 games left. If Embiid comes back to 5, yeah, dude, this is going to be tough, man. It's going to be real tough to not be in this freaking play-in, dude.
Absolutely.
You know? And that's the frustrating thing though, because it's just it just figures. It's like the curse of the friggin' process, dude. Like Embiid was having a year that Embiid was having one of the greatest years in the history of basketball. You know what I mean? The league, you got Boston, but other than that, the league is like wide open. You know what I mean? And then now we got to deal with this shit. Like wondering if he's going to be able. Oh, is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be in shape? Like man, dude. I feel like
just imagine
this is our first franchise.
Sounds like it, looks like it, but just imagine if he took stuff serious when he wasn't eating that junk food and he just took his health and his body and wellness more serious. I mean, we're talking about a different Embiid, But
I kind of think
it is what it is. You can't bitch and moan. You got people that will cry about it, but it is what it is. Like, and even our draft picks, we can go on and on with them. Bradley, Okafor.
Yeah, well, you know what? Hey, what are we going to do? It's over with,
Exactly. No more crying about it.
Yeah, but all right, man. Well, look. All right, so we'll get ready to wrap up here. Well, we'll get in a little bit of football next week. We'll do some football next week. Maybe who knows? Maybe eventually there'll be a Hassan Reddick move because that's
want him here. He has to stay here.
What's that?
He has to stay here. There's me as a fan. I want him here. I know he wants that extension. He wants that money, but you got to keep him here. Guy's been a 4-year double-digit sack player.
Yeah.
I
know. I think I was hearing possibly Atlanta and another Atlanta and somebody else. I can't remember. Jacksonville was a possibility.
It's scary. It's Arizona.
Arizona. People are speculating maybe Arizona because of Jonathan Gannon.
Exactly. There you go. The writing's on the wall. But we'll talk more about it real short and sweet. I'm not comfortable with Dean and Nolan Smith because the shoulder, and you got to get, if you're going to give him the starting job or whatever it may be, you got to get his ass playing preseason from start to finish, and then grade him there. But who am I? I'm just a fan. What do I know?
No, I agree with you. I'd like to keep him, but it almost makes you wonder though, because Reddick is such a productive player. It almost makes you wonder if maybe there's some locker room shit that we don't know about.
Exactly. And then two, somebody said, does he fit this scheme? I was listening to a podcast of Fangio's.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you wouldn't though. He played a 34 before.
Exactly.
And he played a 3-4 before, and also, I mean, his job 90-some% of the time would be to go after the quarterback. It's not. I don't think they'd be having.
That's what I didn't get.
I don't see him like guarding tight ends and shit. You know what I mean? But
true.
We'll get
John.
Yeah, well, John Michael kind of puts the onus on Embiid. He said, Embiid
couldn't agree more.
He's never put the game and his health first. Sean is right. He's out of shape because he don't put in the work. It's all on Embiid. See, you know what though? The only thing I'll say in Embiid's defense, and I agree with you, and I agree with John definitely to a certain point. But I think the last couple years though, Embiid really has made improvements in that though. You know what I mean? Like 3, 4, 5 years ago, I'm right there with you. Like that. Like the Toronto series. Like honestly,
when he was when he was not.
We win that Toronto series if he isn't sick on that Sunday, and then he played like shit in Game 5 2 days later. Like, you know what I mean? Like the Sixers would have beat Toronto that year. Everybody points to that Kawhi Leonard shot, and rightfully so. But the Sixers had a chance to go up 3-1, and Embiid couldn't bring it on that Sunday. But I feel like the last couple years though he has been a lot more serious. I think some of his injuries I think are kind of bad luck. in some respect.
The two times before we get going, the 2 times getting elbowed in the face, like
That
I've
was
always
bad
said,
luck.
he's a porcelain doll, with folds and etc. And the way he falls, it's like a big man on stilts, like he's on ice. Like,
Yeah, I don't get
I
that.
mean,
Like they said,
yeah,
supposedly they said that like some doctor told him to fall like that because it protect his knee. But like to me, you're like
come on, man.
you're like a 7 foot, like 285-pound dude. You know what I'm saying? And 285 to 300-pound dude, and you're falling that often. I feel like that's got to take a toll on your body.
Look at the way he fell when he hurt his knee. Like it was so unorthodox. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like a simple scramble for the ball, and the dude just put all his weight and said, "Boop, see ya."
Yeah, I hear you, but
Yeah.
all right. Well, look, we'll get into all that stuff next week. And again, really excited about the Phillies this Thursday.
Yeah, man.
And baseball fans, make sure you check out my show tomorrow night. Myself and Dave Yarn will be on here 7:00. We're going to do the whole major leagues baseball preview. We'll break it all down. And check us out tomorrow night, and we'll be back next week. Go Flyers, go Sixers, and go Phillies. And
Go Fightins, baby.
Go Fightins. All right. I'll see y'all.